Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Highrise City, and welcome back to New Belfast. I hope you're having a good one. I'm excited to be back. I was gonna sit down, and I was gonna edit the last episode right away. I just got done recording it. I was gonna edit it. I was gonna render it, upload it, get it out there, and then sit down to do this episode. But I decided I'm not gonna do all that because I want to get out here. I want to come out here and I want to build the iron mine that we can now build because we have this deposit because we're making so much money that we were able to buy that tile. Obviously, to do that, we're gonna need a bit of a bridge, and I'm trying to figure out where exactly and how exactly I want to do a bridge in this game because, truth be told, I sort of have no idea how the game would want me to do a bridge. So I'm assuming the way it works is I can't just run straight across the water. So I can't do that. But I'm assuming I can go out like this. I can use page up to increase the height. And then that sort of lets me go straight across the water. I can sort of use page up to continue to raise this thing up and down as I want to do, which is great. I'm glad I can do that. But I want the bridge to look kind of cool. And I've just realized, would it be silly to come out of here with this bridge? Would this be too much? I want to say this might be too much, especially for a little road like this, but it might look kind of cool. This is going to be silly, but I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm also going to switch out for a 4-lane road just because I can, and we'll go and elevate this thing up a little bit. I am hoping that this is going to work. It puts a pillar on the existing road. Okay, it's not exactly ideal. That's not really how I think that should work. Let's try that again. We can do this. We'll bring this thing out to about there. And that's going to be $15,000 to build that stretch of road. But you know what? It put a pillar on the road again. No, I don't want a pillar on the road. I don't want that there at all. Let's try it one last time and see. We want to go up to here. It is still determined to put that pillar on the road. I'm just noticing, like, anywhere I do this, it is trying to put a pillar on that stretch of road, which is really, really strange. What if I lower it down and go to, what if I go to here with this little section of road and then across? Is it still trying to do the pillar? It isn't. That's better. Okay. So that I can work with. It doesn't look, it doesn't look great, does it? But you know what? It'll do. I'm going over here at like the worst possible place. Okay. You know what? Yeah, that's not okay. Maybe this is a silly idea. Maybe this isn't something I want to do. Maybe wait, why can I not delete this? Wait. I deleted, oh no, is it bugged? Hold on. Yeah, so I think the game's bugged and it's now got this road just staying here. That's great. Okay. Good. Really good start. Really, really great start. And finally, there we go. We have ourselves a bridge. I totally didn't have to reload the game 4 times to get it exactly right and figure out the controls a little bit more, but we have a bridge that's heading to the side of the map that I need to be on. There is a pillar in the middle of the road. There is nothing I can do about that. It's just a thing that the game seems to do. I don't like it. I don't love it, but I don't care enough to change it. Just at this point, I just don't care. So it's going to live there. That's just where it's going to be. I'm also thinking I'm going to build some offices right here and right here just to sort of surround this road because I think that'll look kind of cool. And honestly, it sort of does look kind of cool having this this whole thing going on. That's hopefully going to deal with some of the demand that we have creeping in there. But more than anything else, I want to come over here and I want to start building some roads. Now, I'm slightly concerned that I might have got my angle off a little bit. I actually got it really, really close to perfect for this this zone that we have here. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to not snap to grid. Can I ignore angles and things like that? I guess we will just snap to grid. It's fine. I'm going to bring this thing right out to here. And that's just going to be the backbone of whatever I build on this side of the map. And I'm sort of completely okay with that. Now, in terms of the iron mine that I want to tap into a little bit, I'm kind of hoping I can... so first off, why does this road want to go right there? That's really not what I'm looking for. I wish snapping to the grid... I really wish snapping to the grid would let me snap to like the little tiles that we have to play with here, because it would make life so much easier. I'm also constantly getting this weird bug where roads aren't actually being sort of demolished properly. Oh, no way! It just deleted my bridge! What is... There is no way! Why does it delete the entire section of the road? Okay, so there was an autosave, thankfully. I got my bridge back. I've also decided I'm going to use this avenue here because for whatever reason, it works nicely with the grid layout that we have. And it also means that I can get the roads to connect to this thing properly, which is what I'm looking for. That's really all I want from this. So I'm going to bring a road out here, and I'm going to bring a road out something like this, just so I have some stuff down here with which I can do other stuff. For whatever reason, the grid lines are, again, being sort of annoying, and they're really not in useful places that aren't just going to interrupt the actual layout of the grid in general. So that's fun. That's good. That's really not remotely what I'm looking for from these roads, but you know, to each their own, I guess. That's just how it's going to be, I suppose. Really not a huge fan of the fact it's doing that, but I guess I can't do anything about it, which is what it is. Let me, and if I turn off snap into grid, I can just freeform this thing, but I really don't think it's going to do all that much. I could ignore the landscape as well, but I really don't think it's going to do much either. So I'm just going to bring this guy out to here, and I'm going to bring this guy out to here. And I guess they're going to connect together at some point. But for now, the main reason I'm here is an iron mine. That's the only thing I care about. That's the only thing I want out here. So even though this is going to mess up the grid, I'm going to connect these roads together because I figure it makes the most sense. Apparently I can't connect it to this guy, so that bit of road is going to go away for now. You are going to come out to here, and then we'll bring this road from the end there into there, so it's all connected together, and this guy can extend out to about there. So this gives me a really ugly square to work with. That's perfect. I love having my grid lines misaligned. It's just my favorite thing. If you you know me, I love misaligned grids. Just great, just perfect, just absolutely adore it. Really big fan of wait a minute, why hold on, why does it look like that's now gonna line up? It doesn't. Okay, you know what, that's fine. We're out here for iron ore. That's the only thing I'm here for. Let me do that. So this is gonna cost $13.50 to run, which is fine. It's 8,000 up front. Mines produce hazardous waste that can be reduced with a reprocessing plant. Okay, so a reprocessing plant is something we're going to want to keep in mind, but that can be a later on kind of thing. I'm going to get a couple of these guys, I think, because I want to say that probably makes the most sense. So we'll build 2 of them. They are going to need some things nearby to run efficiently, but that's all right. We are hopefully going to see some good things here. So you are going to need a fire department. You're going to need police. You're going to need a hauler. You're going to need water. You're going to need power. So what I think we'll do is we'll go into, let's see here. We'll go into supply. We'll get ourselves a medium police department, and it's going to live right on that corner. We will get ourselves a medium fire department. It's going to live in the opposite corner. That should sort out that particular problem. In terms of hauling things, we need to go to transportation. We need a haulage company. And I think if I did have the bricks for it, that'd be great, but I don't. So we have to wait to build the regional hauler. I think for now, we'll just go for the local one, since it will do the job and stop them complaining about that. And then what else do you need? You need power, you need water, and apparently, I guess you don't have policing because this isn't working either. And then you don't have a hauler because the hauler isn't working either. So I guess we need to sort all of that out. Now, my question is, can I run pipes underneath the water? Is that an option? It absolutely is. So that's what we're going to do. And just because it's easier to keep track of where they are, I'm going to sort of follow the path of the bridge, since that makes my life a little bit easier. And we're going to go right down to the end of this road. And then right down the middle of this avenue is perfect. Right down to this corner is also perfect. And then right up to about there should give us water for all of these guys, which is perfect. And I suppose they're also going to need some power, I suppose. So we'll get them I guess a medium electrical substation. It more or less covers everything I would want it to cover out here. So we'll build it, I want to say right about there for the substation, or I could build it behind this guy, I guess would also be an option. I could build it here. It'd be a little bit more out of the way, but I think I'm going to build it back there, and that'll be totally fine. We'll get ourselves a little road that sort of runs alongside these guys just to fill in that space, and then get power connected. And that should be the start of me making or mining my own iron, which I'm very excited about. Now, can I run a pylon through here? I'm going to assume the answer is a resounding no, which is unfortunate. I don't want to run it through there. I don't really want to run it through a neighborhood either, but I might have to do that. Yeah, I think we're just going to run it straight through the neighborhoods. Oh man, this is really, really miserable. This is such a miserable development that I've got going on here. Let's run it into here. Yeah, oh man. We'll run it out to here as well. That's actually a really, really nice long stretch of cable right there. So that'll be good for me. I'll run it to there. And then can I just run it straight down this way? I totally can. So is that kind of a right angle? It is more or less. That is a huge length of cable. I can also run it across the water, which is great as well. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to run it down to, I want to run it to that guy basically. So, oh, this doesn't snap to anything. Oh wait, does it? Hold on. No, I don't think it does. Okay. Well, I'll do this as best I possibly can. Let me start here, bring this guy out to about that corner, and somehow try and get this all to line up nicely. I think, oh, that's about as good as it's going to be. You know what? I'm never going to look at them. We'll not worry about it. Do we have power? That's the most important thing. We absolutely have power. So we are now mining our own iron, which is amazing news. That's going to be huge for us. It means we don't have to import it anymore. Oh, that's good. Okay. I'm excited about this. My question is workers. So people, there's no living space nearby, which I mean, yeah, so they all travel by car. What is this? Travel costs from home to work is high. Okay. Well, we could run a bus out here. That would definitely be an option. I mean, it would make the most sense, I think. So let's have a little bit of a dabble in public transports and see what we can do. We probably don't want to do a metro right now, but what if I brought this down a little bit? Ridership? No, we'll bring that back up. Never mind. Okay. A new bus route, I think, is going to be the way to go. So let's start with some stations and see what we're dealing with. So we have a couple of stations in here, which is great. My thinking is, let's see, I'm going to put a station right here. And then I want them to sort of loop around this way. So I'm also going to put a station right here. And then I want one in front of City Hall. I want one, I maybe don't need it there. I can put one sort of here, and that should be fine. We obviously don't need stations on the bridge. That would be a little bit silly, but we can do a stop, say, towards the start of this space, towards the end of that space, right in the middle of this area, right in the middle of that guy. And then maybe, I don't think we need one right there, but we'll just come straight back. It's going to take the exact same route heading back. So straight down this road. It's going to stop right in front of the courthouse. and then it's going to go to this stop and loop around. So a relatively short loop, but that should get people back and forth. So if we start the new route, it's going to go here to here. It stops in front of City Hall, in front of the, I want to say that's the bank, if I remember right. I'm pretty sure that's the bank. It comes out this way. It loops around all of these guys. It comes back. It stops in front of the bank again. It stops in front of the courthouse and then goes right back to the start, which is perfect. So that is bus route number 3. It is going to have, I want to say, the medium bus just to get started and see how that goes. And then the ridership is 42%. It's going to have a really good number of riders because they do need to get out to work. And so I'm hoping for good things. I'm hoping that's going to make this place a little bit more pleasant as well. So yeah, the costs are coming down to medium. There's a few guys starting to use transit, which is great. Where do you live? So you're where exactly? You're down here. So some of these guys might have to get multiple bus lines to get to work. I don't know if they will actually do that, but at the very least, we have buses as an option to get out here, which I think is going to be good. There's a couple people waiting around, which is fine. And we have a bus coming through already. So yeah, I'm hoping for good things. I think this is going to work out. Now we do need to figure out the fish situation, and we do need to figure out the fruit situation. So maybe we tackle those. And I mean, looking at both of those, if we look at these guys' houses, no one's really complaining too much currently about the fish thing or the fruit thing, but that will change eventually. These guys are also complaining about parking, which is something to deal with. So maybe we get a nice parking structure in here. If we have a little bit of a look at supply for the offices, we do have this this proper car park now, which I don't know if it's, I don't think it has a higher radius than this. Oh, it absolutely does. It has a much higher radius of influence, which is great. I don't know if I want to put it on this corner though, because we have this guy right here. I guess up here would be a good spot. Well, no, the influence isn't great on that either. Oh boy. This parking lot would fit perfectly where that school is as well. That'd be such a good place for it too, but you know what? I don't think I think they'll be all right. They're complaining, what, a little bit about parking? Yeah. We can live with that. The bigger problem is the canteen, which we still haven't dealt with, but I am happy that we do have some iron going, right? Have we got any in storage? We have 55. Our production is 6, our consumption is 4. So you know what that tells me? That tells me we can go to trade. That tells me we can stop importing it, which is amazing news. And so I suppose we're going to be making even more money. Now, let me have a look and see what else we need to be dealing with right now. So fish and fruit, we absolutely know about that. Our corn situation is fine. Our bread situation is fantastic. Beer is something to look into. Our clothing situation is good. Our spirits situation is good. In fact, you know what I might even do is have a look at trade, and maybe what's going to make me more? Clothing is 740. Spirits are going to be 300. Let's sell clothing up to 125. That seems like a good idea. And maybe we'll stop selling fish, and maybe we'll stop selling fruit. That seems like a good thing to do. In fact, maybe we also sell spirits. We have a pretty good excess on spirits right now, so we'll sell some excess. We'll do 125 as our minimum, so we're still making some good money from trade. And I guess we do need to deal with the fruit, and we do need to deal with the fish situation. So we have this little area down here, which is currently where all of my water towers are. I should probably move those to somewhere that makes a bit more sense. But my thinking is that for now, what do we need for fish? We only really need one more pier for it. So if we go into industry and we go to food and we go to our fishery, it would be nice to get a few more of these things kind of nicely upgraded. But you know what? Let's just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them, and that'll be more than enough. So that brings production up to 64. So fish really isn't going to be much of a problem anymore, which I mean, that's good. That's what we're looking for. The fruit thing is slightly trickier because to fix the fruit situation, we're probably going to need another farm, or rather we do need another farm, unless, what do we have a lot of? So hemp production, that's coming from insulation material. We have we have 2 of those. So I want to say that we're only using it for construction, right? It is just a construction material. So you are producing, I don't know how much you're producing, but I want to say that this could probably go away and we could replace it with a fruit farm. That might just be the easier way to do this. Just put a fruit farm right there. And that brings fruit production up to 47 from 37. So yeah, that's perfect. Production on hemp is down to 8, but we're really not using it that much. So that should resolve both of my problems, which is great. We also have $800,000, which means we can absolutely, I think, purchase another region. I'm assuming the prices of these things go up the more I purchase. The $1.6 million. You know what? Never mind. I cannot purchase another one right now. That's not going to be happening anytime soon. That is wild. That is a lot. That is a lot of money that I do not have to spend right now. I'd also, love to start building in here, but unfortunately the grid layout's just, I want to do this. I want to go back and forth like this, but the grid layout just isn't going to let me do it. Oh, now this is interesting. We need more workers for this iron mine down here. So I think it's going to be time to start filling out some of this little space that I've put together here. We also have a goal to deliver 100 iron. I'm pretty sure we'll manage to do that at some point, but I think what I'm going to do is start looking into some of this space, and maybe we should start looking towards engineers. I don't feel like that would be the worst idea in the world. Iron is going to be what sort of limits us in doing this, but I kind of like the idea of messing around a little bit with some engineers and seeing if we can maybe start to put some of this together and see if we can't start to get some higher density stuff in here. Now, obviously, I don't want to put them right down here by the mine itself. That seems a little bit silly. So I think what I'm going to do is, since we have this really ugly layout here for the grid, I'm going to use this one for my engineers. Maybe we'll start right here though. So we'll start with some engineers right here. We do need some more zoning around here though. So I'm also going to do some employees, just regular old employees in here to help us out and bolster the numbers and do all that good stuff. So we'll do something like this. We're also going to need some commercial zoning or some office zoning. So I think for the offices, maybe we'll do those kind of along this avenue. Again, the zoning here is just terrible. It really sucks, man. I really don't like it, but I think this is about as good as it's going to be. So we'll do some offices right about there just to fill out that space. And I guess we should also come through here and start looking at getting some water into a bunch of these guys. So straight down here, straight across to there, and we'll run straight through the middle as well. And we'll do exactly the same thing down to here as well. That should keep everything nicely covered. We'll run down to here, here, and here. And again, that keeps everything nicely covered. We're also doing okay in terms of power, which is great. This building's at a bit of an angle, which I guess is fine. I really don't love this, but it'll be all right. It'll all come together. Now you are complaining about there being no garbage carrier in range, and I'm assuming a lot of you are going to be complaining about that, which is a perfectly valid complaint to have. Let's start to deal with some garbage stuff. Now, we do have this. We have the city garbage collector, but I can't really afford it in terms of materials right now, so I'm going to hold off on that. We do have the recycling center. We have the large recycling center. The reprocessing plant is going to be useful for the mines, but for now, we'll just do a local garbage collector right in that corner, and that should be fine. I think in terms of range, we'll go just a little bit higher just to cover right up to the water up there, which is great. And you are going to be needing... No, you're not needing employees. Okay. Well, that's not so bad. We have all of these guys getting here by car, which I guess is fair enough. What about you guys? A lot of them using transit now. That's perfect. Okay. So that keeps us in a good spot. You guys are covered in terms of garbage, which is great. We still have a huge demand for residential zoning, which makes sense. And a lot of these guys are complaining about healthcare. They're complaining about religion. They're complaining about education. They're complaining about shopping and leisure. So let's start dealing with all of those things. I think for healthcare, it's just going to be a big old hospital right on this corner is what we're going to do for healthcare. So it's going to live right there. And that should help absolutely everybody out and deal with the healthcare demand. In terms of shopping, we could build a mall. We need way more bricks to build it, but it would be nice. It would definitely, we might need both. So let's do a supermarket, maybe right on that corner as well, just so it kind of, fills it in a little bit. Would probably be better on this corner just to fill in that horrible looking space. So maybe that's actually what we do, is we put the supermarket maybe right down here or something like that would be a nice spot for it. I don't know. I want to say central makes more sense though. So I think we'll go central with the supermarket, and that'll sort out the shopping demand that some of these guys have eventually. You are going to need to be covered by the hauling company though. So let's just make sure that the hauling company is covering this entire island, which should keep you pretty good. You're complaining about workers, which makes sense. We have a massive demand for that, but you guys are now happy. You've got your shopping, you've got your healthcare, your fire coverage is good. You're policing a little bit less so, but that's all right. Religion, education, and leisure are the remaining three. So education, we have an elementary school, which could go pretty much next to anything here, really. I could put it in this corner. I could put it in that corner. It's looking like this corner might be the better bet for it. So I think that's exactly what we'll do. And then for religion, we have the church, which needs 28 bricks. I've only got 20. I don't think it'll take too long to get up to 28 though. And you know what? I think the church is going to go right about there. And that should cover us in terms of the religion needs as well. Now you're complaining a little bit about not having enough workers. That's totally okay. Same with you. That's totally okay. You guys are hopefully going to be okay. That religion need is, I think, slowly climbing by the looks of it. It might not be because the church doesn't have any workers, but it will be. And then it's just leisure. In fact, that absolutely is climbing. That's perfect. Okay. So in terms of leisure, let's have just bit my tongue and that really hurt. Ow. Let's see. Ow, that really did hurt. Ow. Good Lord. Okay. Oh man. Let's do a little playground. I want to say here. I don't know if this thing needs road access, but it's going to go back there and that should be a good spot for it. We'll do a little park. I want to say, does it need road access? That's going to need road access, isn't it? It absolutely does. That's really unfortunate, but okay, we'll make that work. I'm not, that is really annoying. Okay, that's fine. Let's do a little, I don't know, a little park or something in here. It'd be really nice if I could get this to like line up with the hospital, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. I can get it right here though, next to the elementary school. Maybe we just do here. So we'll do this for a bit of leisure. And then, I don't know. Can I do another one back there? Can I do like a little regular little playground back there? Does that actually count? And then bulldoze you since you're complaining so much. I think that keeps us good. I think that has everything connected together. That looks all right to me. Although someone is still complaining about no road access. Really? That's sort of frustrating. That's really frustrating. Okay, I mean, I can't do that. I can. Oh man. Okay, you know what? You're just not gonna have road access. You're just not gonna be there. If you're just gonna complain about not having road access, you're just not gonna be there. And I guess I will just build a playground right next to the road. So right there. That's where the playground's gonna go. The last place you would ever want a playground to be, right next to the road, and that's where the game wants me to build it. So that's where the game's gonna have it. All right. Let's deal with this huge demand that we have for everything else. We have a good number of bricks. You know what? Before we even deal with the demand that we have for everything, let's get more bricks. because we have one clay pit right now, and it is, I would assume, going to be fighting for its life at the moment. So can I have a look at the filter to see where we have more clay? We have some down here. We have some over here, which is great. We have a little bit in this corner, which is apparently not going to be enough. Do I really only have one clay pit right now? That seems like a huge oversight on my part. Okay, let me move this power plant, because I think, I mean, I want to say it would be fine over here. I want to say this is a good place for a power plant. This just seems like the kind of place a power plant should be, you know? So we'll build it right there, and we should still have power everywhere, right? I think. Are we good? 39 buildings have an electrical problem. I don't think anyone should have an electrical problem anymore. No buildings have an electricity problem. Okay, that's good. So now 80% coverage in a clay pit, that's totally fine. I can deal with that. If we have a look at our clay situation, production is 7, consumption is 6. That's all right. I mean, it could be better. I mean, this guy probably needs more workers, I would assume. And then in terms of a brickworks, I mean, I would like another brickworks. I'm kind of wondering though, what else could I move around here to get more access to that clay? That's because, I mean, that's not great. We have this up here. Maybe this is just what we do. Maybe we just build out here. In fact, I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. Let me move that particular clay pit up to this spot. And you know what? I'm going to build a second one right next to it and then have a bit of a look at my clay production. So production 12, consumption 6. That is better. That is what we're looking for. And then for a brickworks, I think we go right here and build it right next to it. And that'll be solid. You guys are going to be complaining about electricity though. I hadn't thought about that. I don't know that I want to give them a dedicated, wait, I can upgrade you. So yeah, there we go. Now they've got coverage now that it's a medium substation. Should I do the same with the little substation we have here as well? Probably, just to make sure that everything is covered with electricity. Okay. So now we just have a worker problem. So now we'll come over here and we'll start to sort out that worker problem. Let me get myself, I don't want to say engineers because I think that'd be a really bad idea. Although they're doing all right and they're paying okay-ish money, but they do need beer, they need toys, they want some electric bicycles as well. So I think we have to wait a little bit on that. Let's draw in some zoning. I think we're going to try and fill out this tile is what we're going to do. So let's start with that. Let me get the drawing option. Let's fill out that space, and that space. And that'll give us a whole bunch of zoning and hopefully enough workers to help us out here a little bit. And I'm also thinking, would it be worth doing some kind of little bus loop around here? Because right now the buses come in and they just sort of go to here and then they go back. I suppose we could edit the bus line so that the buses come in and stop here, down here, here, and then over here and go back. Is that way there's a bit more coverage? That really might be a good idea, actually, just changing that bus line ever so slightly. So if we go and have a look at our bus stops, instead of coming in here, we could have it come in about here, and that covers a whole lot more space. It would miss out in this corner though, which would be really unfortunate to do. So let's go like this and like this, and then down to here. And then it cuts straight across. It goes up. It can stop right about there. It can stop right about there and there. And that should be okay. So now if we go back into public transport, we go to bus route number 3 and we go to modify. We want to take out, I guess, number, so which one's number 5? That's number 5 right there. So 5, 6, so 5 needs to go. And then this is our new number 5. That is our new number 5. And then that's our new number 5. So you, do I just need to like, oh man, can I not reorganize these? You know what? We'll take out basically all of them. That's what we're doing. So that's bus stop number 4. That's fine. So number 4 goes to here and down here. It cuts across. It continues over to here. It cuts up this way. These guys might be too close together, but I'm kind of allowing it, and that should cover pretty much that entire space. That's kind of what I'm looking for. So it covers the entire thing, which means hopefully these guys can start taking buses to get to wherever they want to go, which might be down here, it might be up here. These guys though, what are you complaining about? You are still complaining about needing more workers. You need police in range. People will not fully occupy the building. Fire department in range as well. That's a little bit unfortunate, but it does make sense. We do have a little bit of policing coverage down here. Actually, quite a lot of people complaining about not enough workers. I mean, again, it makes sense. It's just a little bit frustrating. How do I want to do this? I really don't love the idea of having to put a police department next to this guy, but I think, I mean, it's what, 220 per whatever month. I think we'll just tolerate it for now. So we'll do this just to get those working and keep them happy. And I guess we'll just head over here and continue to fill out this space. So we'll get ourselves more employees there and fill that entire block, which brings our residential demand. It does nothing to our residential demand. Oh no, it got rid of it. Good. Okay. One building has a problem, needs 54 more offices. Who is complaining about a lack of offices? It's going to be the tool factory. That's okay. We don't have all that many bricks, but we are producing more than we were previously, and we're up to 21 now, so we can absolutely get ourselves some offices, I think. Yeah, we can get a couple. we can't get too many, but we can definitely get a couple of them. So we'll do something like this just to fill out that space. Still need 54 more offices. We'll see if that changes once these guys get built. It's still 54 more offices. Okay, so we oh no, 48. Yeah, we need a lot. We need way more of those. I'm also thinking we might want to get ourselves another iron smelter, because as it stands right now, we are sitting on 170 iron. We are producing 6. We are consuming 4. We might need another iron mine if I do this, but I do think another iron smelter might be a bit of a good idea. So I want to say it can live right about there. Right on that corner is where I'm going to put it, just to try and bring the iron production up. That brings, let me see. So production comes up to 4, consumption is 1, production of you is 6, consumption is 8. So yeah, we are going to want to get ourselves another iron mine, which is a bit frustrating because we already have quite a few of them, but we have this corner to play with. So we'll basically just put the thing right about there, and that should keep us pretty good. If we now look at iron, production is 9, consumption is 8. That's good. We don't need to stockpile the ore. We just need to stockpile the iron itself. And that should put us in a pretty good spot, because it means, wait a minute, what about coal? How are we doing there? Consumption is 8, production is 4. That's not going to be good enough. We do need a charcoal kiln, which is going to be using wood to make charcoal. We're going to build it right down there. And then looking at the wood situation, production 71, consumption 61. That's good. You are production 8, consumption 8. Do I want to do another one of these guys? I really don't want to do another one of these guys, but I think we'll go for it. This is still doing okay. And then the charcoal situation is good as well. So that should keep us good across the board. We should have our iron production continuing to exist, which is great. That should put us in a good spot for, I suppose, building other things. And I've just realized that the reason iron keeps sort of stagnating around 10 is that we are selling everything that we make above 10. So let's make a change to how we do trade. Let's stockpile up to 100 iron bars, which is going to slow things down for a little while in terms of our trade profits. But we do have $2.3 million now. So I'm really not too concerned about that. And it should mean that once we get some iron stockpiled, I can go in here and start building, you know, more interesting buildings, bigger buildings. Oh, now this is something I thought was going to happen with this little intersection that we have here. Traffic is having some trouble getting off of the bridge from the new island. So what I'm going to try and do is go in here and get rid of this road, which ever so slightly messes with some of my buildings, but that's okay. I can deal with that. I want to get a one-way road, and I'm going to do a way 4-lane road that's going to go to there. And the road markings on that are a little bit gross looking, but that's okay, I suppose. I don't love it. That car also had some serious trouble figuring that out right there, which was concerning, but you know what? It's fine. We still have complaints about offices. I'm not too worried about that. What my thinking is that I might turn this into a one-way road. So this is a one-way road going in here is what I think it could be. And I don't know if that's a good idea or a bad idea. I think what I'm also going to do is take this guy out and replace it with a 2-lane one-way road. I think that would be better. So 2 lanes right there. You are getting bulldozed. This is going to affect bus route 3. That's okay. We can deal with bus route 3 getting temporarily impacted. This is the slight problem I have, though, is that it does mess with my grids a little bit, but that should fix it. So bus route 3 should still be able to get around there-ish. It does, yeah. Bus route 3 has no problem getting around there. It goes down this way and does its thing. So yeah, that's all right. This, I think, is still a 2-way road, which might get slightly complicated, but I want to see how traffic handles this now. So it lines up as expected, which is totally fine. And then some of it cuts straight across. And I mean, that's, yeah, to be expected, I guess. I don't know if that's going to work. I mean, traffic down here is kind of backing up now. We have this bus just sort of sitting around waiting for something or other. It'd be nice if we didn't have these traffic lights, but I have a feeling the only way I'm going to get rid of those traffic lights is maybe turning this into a one-way road as well, which is going to affect my bus line. Although I guess that could be a one-way road coming down this way, which would probably still cause there to be traffic lights. Yeah, I think we might be stuck with this just sort of being the way it is now. I don't know. It's fine for now. I think I can deal with it as it is. I'm not super concerned about it. I would like to get my zoning back in here, though, that I accidentally slightly got rid of. So that'll all hopefully rebuild in no time at all. And we'll have this area looking pretty good again, which, yeah, we'll see how this goes. I mean, traffic is definitely backing up down here now, which we kind of knew that was going to happen. That's not exactly ideal, but it is what it is. We have a little bit more zoning over here, which is great. We still have demand for more offices, though. So let me start to try and fill in a little bit more of this and see how that goes for us. It is still brick production that's holding us back, but we'll see if that actually deals with the need for those offices. And I also want to just check. So bricks, so clay right here, production 12, consumption 9. I guess we're just using bricks a lot. I want to say that's kind of where we're at. We're just using a lot of bricks, which is fair enough. We've, you know, built a bridge and got to the other side of the city now. So that, yeah, it kind of makes sense that we're using a lot of bricks. Now, I think just before we wrap things up for today, I want to get some more engineers in here. So we're going to get ourselves another chunk of land. I'm going to say I want to do something this size for some engineers. That's a lot of bricks and that's a lot of buildings, but that's hopefully, once we start getting some better stuff for these guys, going to be a lot of money. I also just want to see what this looks like, and it looks pretty good, all things considered. They're not thrilled to be here because obviously there's a lot of things they don't have, but the goal is going to be to get them the things that they want starting in the next episode. So that's totally okay that they're not thrilled right now. We also haven't cranked their tax just yet. So office level 3 is going to go to 13%. You guys are going to go to 13% as well, just to make sure that you're getting, you know, getting some good money into the city right there. And I guess that's at least a bit of a start, which is great. Now, something I am aware of is the fact that our clothing production is now lower than the consumption. That's definitely a bit of a worry. If we have a look in here, our wool production is higher than our consumption, so all we really need is another factory. So my question would be, can I fit a little textile factory down here anywhere? Not really, so it's just going to live back down by the rest of them. So we have 2 of them in there. Let's just do one, I guess, under there, I guess, is maybe a good spot for it. Right here actually is a fantastic spot for it. So a little textile factory right about there should bring our production up to 12. Consumption is 10, which is fantastic. Our wool situation is production 16, consumption 18. That's not good. That's going to put us in trouble with the wool, which is a problem. We're still importing color. We have to import that, which is totally fine. I'm going to bring that up to 20. I think we can afford to double our imports on that. And I guess now we need to figure out the wool situation. So just as a temporary measure, I'm going to make this into a sheep farm. I was hoping that we'd be building out into this space by now, but it can live as a sheep farm just to make sure that the clothes production continues, which it will. Our bread consumption is now higher than our bread production. Let's see, so consumption 18, production 15. I'm pretty sure I could get away with one more bakery and that will level out the flour production and consumption. So let's do that as well, just before we wrap things up here today. Now this thing is a 2x3. I'm pretty sure, yep, it will absolutely fit in that space right there. So now if we go and look at the bread situation, the consumption is 18, production is 20, flour is 2020, and then wheat is 2320. So we are good on that front. Okay. That's great. So clothing is heading back up, which is perfect. Our spirits is 2523. It's getting a little bit closer, but that's not the end of the world. Our garden tools is 1212, so that's going to need to be improved, but I would say we're in a decent little spot right here. Production on fish is higher than consumption. Vegetables is the same. Fruit is the same story. Wheat is the same story. So yeah, I think we're in a pretty solid spot here, aside from the fact that we still need more offices. So let me see. Can I get a bunch of offices in here? We'll get a bunch right there. We'll get a bunch right there. Can I fill up this entire block right now? I don't think I can, but we're getting pretty close, which is good. So that block is just going to be entirely built up of offices. It'll be nice to get some really nice offices in there at some point, but for now, I think we're doing pretty well. We still need none. Okay, so the office demand thing has cleared up. We're approaching $3 million. So I think it's going to be a matter of time before we get ourselves another tile of land right here. Maybe we'll start expanding sort of vaguely that way at some point in the not too distant future, which will be very exciting because if I expand this way, I can start building more farms. I'm kind of liking keeping all my farms in a similar spot here. So that's maybe the plan. That's maybe what we're going to do. I'm also wondering, I mean, you guys are complaining about workers. Let me check something very quickly. You are all getting here by car. I'm going to do something potentially a little silly here. I'm going to build a bus stop. How do I want to do this? I'm going to build it there, I think. No, I'm going to build it here. So a bus stop right. Oh, how do I want to do this? I'm going to build a bus stop here. I'm going to build a bus stop here. We are going to go to this spot. I can get one in there as well. I think I will get one in there. I can get one in front of these guys. And I can go sort of this way as well. So we'll share that stop. We're going to have this entire bus line go over here. It's going to come down again. It is going to stop. This time it will stop in here just for a little bit of a different sort of path, which I think is fair enough. It could share this stop up here and then come back down to this guy. And then maybe cut sort of up this way. And yeah, I think I have an idea for how this is going to go. I don't know if we need a fourth bus line right now, but I'm going to go for it. So it is going to start down here. It's coming all the way across to this lower line. It stops here as well. It stops here. It's going to come around and stop here. And then in front of City Hall. So it's sharing some of the stops that my existing lines are already sharing. I don't think I need it to go. I don't think I need it to go to all the same stops. In fact, I almost wonder if this one, just for the hell of it, could maybe go to here. So it kind of comes down. It'll take sort of that old path that the old line kind of took. It can head back out. It can maybe skip those stops just because I don't think it needs to go to them. It could cut across here, but I think, again, it's going to be kind of a similar story. It's going to come down here. It's going to go to here. And do I want it to cut through a different way here? I don't think I do. I think it's going to come down. Again, I know it's sharing some stops and it's sort of sharing the route there, but that's fine. It can come back down in here and then it loops around like that. I think what I'm going to do is have it go to here and then here. That's 19 stops. It's a very, very long line, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Ridership is 133% right now. So swap out for a medium bus and we'll see if it 104. Good Lord. Okay. Large bus is now 50%. It'd be kind of cool if it got up there to near 100% because it would mean that we might be able to fill a large bus, which it's slowly climbing. So we'll see if that works out, but that should help people get around at the very least. It's now a line that goes from pretty much one extreme of the city to the other. We'll see if that ends up being good. We've got currently 99% ridership on bus route number 2, which is our weird loopy red line, which, why does it loop around all weird like? It loops around all weird like because I've got the bus stops on the wrong sides of the road, but you know what? It has 100% ridership, so let's swap it out for large buses. Maybe just one large bus. I don't know if that's going to be a very popular choice, though. Maybe, you know what, medium buses, and we'll do 3 of them, and that'll be fine. We'll see if that works out. This bus route's 85%. This one's actually with big buses, 86%. So we'll get a couple more on those as well. It is costing me money to run these, but we have $3.4 million, so I think we're all right. We'll see if that kind of public transport helps people or if it just ends up being a bit of a hindrance to the city. But regardless, I think we're in a good place. I think we're good to leave it there for today. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. It has been an absolute pleasure as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.